Hi, welcome to Teacher Tip Tuesday. One of my professional goals this year is to post a video every Tuesday of things I've learned over the last 21 years of teaching. And today I'm going to talk about one of my strategies that I could not live without, and that strategy is brain breaks. Now, brain breaks are defined in very different ways by different people, but to me, when I was in high school, I remember looking at the clock and sitting through a 49-minute class, or in some cases with block periods, an hour-and-a-half class, was just really hard for me. In fact, I was just in a grad class a couple weeks ago, and I found myself spinning in my chair at a point when I just needed to get up and walk around. In fact, when I taught school in Columbus, Ohio, because I do brain breaks so much, they used to not be called brain breaks. This is kind of a newer title. My principal would give me students who really needed to walk around. And I think part of the reason is when I was a student, I always wished that I could walk around or engage or have hands-on learning rather than just sit in a seat all the time. And so I have a hard and fast rule that I employ, and that is every 15 to 20 minutes, I try my best, of course, unless they're taking a test, but I'll talk about that later. I try my best to have a brain break. Now, I use the brain breaks differently. Sometimes a brain break is for students to just get up and go talk to another student about what we're currently talking about or studying. Perhaps they're going to bring out the most important fact or summarize what they've learned. But one of my goals in my room is for every student to know the name of every kid in the class, also something about every kid in the class. So often my brain breaks involve getting to know another student, and I encourage them all the time, go talk to someone you haven't talked to yet today. I tell them up front, my goal is for you to know all the kids in the room. Because if we go back to my first video on culture and establishing that culture, in order for me to have a positive culture like that, I need students to feel comfortable with one another, and I need them to feel safe in the presence of one another. You know, they have 7 to 8 different classes a day where they are interacting with all kinds of different students, and in some cases not interacting at all. And so my goal is for brain breaks to incorporate either something from the lesson, or for them to get to know another student, or just to get their energy out. So we've done all kinds of things. We do all different high fives. We do regular high fives, we do high five hugs, you know, where you tap the back of the other hand. But it's always everyone in the room. We've done elbows, sometimes they give them a choice, fist bumps or high fives. But my goal is always 15 to 20 minutes. We move, we transition, or we change. Now, again, when we're having a test or something else like that, that isn't always possible because some kids need that consistent time where they're not having a break. So in that case, I establish at the very beginning of the semester that students know at any time if they need a break, they can take one. So in my classroom, whether that's getting a cup of coffee or hot chocolate, when I talked about culture in my teacher tip 1, I talked about how I have a coffee bar in my room, or that's just getting up and taking a lap, or if that's just scooting back from their table and stretching a little bit. All of those things are welcome and established in my classroom so that students can function. When students are hungry, they can't think or function. When students have to go to the bathroom, they can't think or function. And so I don't limit those passes with all of my students because I want them to be able to concentrate on what we're doing. And if they're too busy thinking about having to go to the bathroom or something else like that, then they're not able to function in the classroom. Now, if there's an issue with one student who seems to take advantage, then I address that with one student. But to be honest, I have never had students take advantage of that. One particular student, I don't want to say his name out of privacy, but in one of my classrooms about 10, 15 years ago, needed to walk quite a bit. He was a kid who was a mover. He was in high school, he was a sophomore. And so I ended up making a masking tape box on the floor in the back of the room. And I told him, at any time if you need to, you just kick it back there. As long as you stay in that box and you just don't distract other kids, then it's okay. In my room, I also have Legos, I have Play-Doh, I have fidget spinners. I have all kinds of things that really help to engage students who struggle with needing that hands-on engagement. I was a doodler in high school. I needed to doodle, and that's how I take notes now. I'm kind of a sketch book artist. I have moleskins with blank paper, and I doodle all the time, which means I am listening. So I have found funny, I know fidget spinners aren't even a trend anymore, but my fidget spinners in my room are very popular. The Play-Doh is very popular. The Legos are very popular. And the truth of it is, my students pay attention better because they have something that helps them to engage. So thinking about how do I incorporate brain breaks and these sorts of things into my classroom, I think the ultimate reason is because I want to engage every learner and establish a culture where there's safety and where there's communication, collaboration, and creativity. So any way I can make that happen, I'll do it. Thanks for listening. I would love to hear what you use for brain breaks. I'm always looking for new ideas. Please make sure to comment. Please subscribe to my channel, Teach Upside Down, on YouTube. Also, I have a store on Teachers Pay Teachers called Teach Upside Down, and I sell a big bundle of brain breaks and handouts for use at brain breaks. So if you'd like to grab that, you can head over to my Teachers Pay Teachers store or to my blog at carrieweishart.com, where I have a blog post about brain breaks. I hope you have the best day ever.